Up and comers. Well, I would definitely say out of COVID, Z-Way, who's done this show called Baited, that used to be a YouTube series, but now has become like one of the, I think, most popular Instagram live shows. Is pretty great. So she was a stand-up, is a stand-up writer on Jesus and Mero, and she started doing that show on Instagram Live, which largely features white people and asking them race baiting questions. Now, it wouldn't only be white people, but it was largely white people. And, largely people who are influencers or people who have been quote unquote canceled, and just hearing, their answers to what do you qualitatively like about Black people? How many Black friends do you have? Like even trying to do a quiz about Black civil rights leaders, and you'd be kind of shocked how little they knew, or how much they would step on their own foot and then put their foot in their mouth after that with the answers they gave. And that became, I watched that grow from like 300 people would tune in on Instagram Live to like 1,000 to like 5,000. And like it started getting like recapped by Vulture like it was a TV show, which is crazy. And it's on hiatus currently, but I think that's only because they're trying to figure out what they want to do with it, because it's like became such a big thing. So that's definitely an up and comer I would point out.
What's the name again?
Z-Way. Well, so her full name is Z-Way, I think Fumudoh, Fumudoh, but she likes going by the mononym Z-Way. Which, yeah, I mean, I don't know another comedian named Z-Way. A favorite of mine that is up and comer for sure, Christina Catherine Martinez, who you might know. Do you know, Richie?
What's the name?
Christina Catherine Martinez.
Christina Catherine Martinez. No, I know someone by a similar name, but not that name.
Christina Catherine Martinez is wonderful for so many reasons. She came from the art critic world, and wanted to be in comedy. And there's a lot, I find this often with people who come from intellectually demanding worlds into comedy often want to be very silly, which is the case, but also she imbues herself with her art sensibilities too. So there's a great clash in being very self-aware and very meta and very experimental, but also doing just straight up dumb, stupid stuff that's very, very funny. And she straddles a lot of different facets of comedy. So she does straight on stand-up. She does clowning and idiot. She does sketch comedy. She films stuff and like writes comedic essays. She just put out a collection of personal essays about art and comedy and being in LA and all that. And she's always pushing herself. And even like she had this sort of like a variety talk show that she had been doing here and there around the place, and then she did it on Instagram Live and did it in such an artful way that it looked cinematic. And for anybody that's watched any Instagram Live show, aesthetically it leaves a lot to be desired. And she did something really, really great with that, and I commend her a lot. And she's actually going to take her first hour special in an art gallery without an audience. And I'm sure it'll work. It'll be insane, but I'm sure it'll work.
Sounds awesome, though. We had Natalie Palamides recently on the show.
Palamides. Yeah, they work together quite a bit. Natalie's great. Natalie's one of those people who's like so kind, so wonderful, and so like down to earth. And then she does the most insane characters on stage, and you're like, this is the same person?
So impressive.
So impressive. I really, really love Natalie. And if you love Natalie, you'll love Christina for sure. Another up-and-comer I really have been digging. You know what? I'll give it, I think it would behoove me to shout out people that have been doing stuff in quarantine. Sydney Washington, who's out in New York. I think she was actually thinking about moving here right before the lockdown happened. But she's a stand-up and a writer, She's so funny, so whip smart, very sharp, and a very, I would say, unique Black lesbian voice, which now America's going to get more of that, as Sam J just got her own half-hour talk show on HBO starting next year. That'll be great. Sydney is a very, very funny stand-up, and she's one of those people that can just like talk about her life and be off the cuff and be very funny about it, which is why she has done quite well with her Instagram live stream show, where she just tries and cooks. Like, she's not a professional cook, and she just cooks every Sunday, like attempts a recipe, and then she goes live with other comics who just make fun of her as she tries and cooks, and that's pretty great. So okay, that's 3. And I hope no one thinks that this is going excruciatingly slow. But I mean, this is how much I love comedy, and I just think about it. And when I really like love somebody and like them coming up, like this is.
Where do you place a Hannah Einbinder? I mean, I guess.
I love Hannah Einbinder. Hannah's great. I put Hannah in the up and comers.
You
especially,
think
what?
On that line of up and coming and established, because
well, okay. I wouldn't say established yet, because like she's just having her moment like now, like she started. Huh?
It'd be stronger if COVID didn't happen, because she was really on that precipice.
Right. And I think she is very dedicated to the craft, and she was did put the work in to really figure out this really weird act that I really, really dug.
That is so kind and funny and genuine. Her act is her, and she does it really well.
She does it really, really well. I have no doubt that she'll pick up almost right where she left off when things start coming back. I mean, and she also has done like Zoom live stream shows and stuff like that, and very much figured out how to do that.
Yeah, she's working.
Yeah. No, throw Hannah in there. Hannah's great. And Hannah's one of those people. I mean, she's also like, relative to a lot of other, she hasn't done stand-up for like a super long time. But, again, I feel like I've witnessed people like Gerard Carmichael was like that. He actually did not do a TV appearance stand-up wise until he got his HBO special. Do you know that?
I assume he'd done like those Comedy Central
Nope. Stuff. Nope. He refused. I think he kind of refused to do it until he got his special. And in the meantime, that guy just all he did all day, so he worked out some arrangement where he could crash on somebody's couch indefinitely. He would go to the Grove and write jokes, and then just find as many places as he could to go up and tell them. And he just did that for 4 years. And it's kind of misleading. His first special is called Love at the Store, because he credits so much to the Comedy Store as bringing up. But I actually think it was the scene, because that guy just went up and killed everywhere. It didn't matter whether it was the store or it was at Holy Fucking Downtown Independent, or it was like the Virgil or Public House or Comedy Bang Bang, whatever. He just went up everywhere, and it was great. Let's see, and for fifth one,
can't say Eddie Pepitone again.
Eddie would love that. Oh my God, that'd be great. Let me think here. Do I want to be a stand-up? Should I pick something
I was gonna say Udoya Travis, right?
Udoya Travis is fine. I've known Udoya for a while, but he's based out of New York, and
now he's just starting to get some hype around him.
Yeah, I mean, oddly, I feel like he's always been hanging around. And then last year he was in this national spot with Mary Holland, I think for T-Mobile. And it's strange how people take note of you for the first time. There's no telling what that's gonna be. But yeah, I'm gonna give this this fifth spot to Naomi Perrigan. I love Naomi to death. You know Naomi Perrigan? Naomi's had a half-hour special. She, I think, maybe did Two Dope Queens. It's like done late night. She writes on a bunch of TV shows, but I feel like she still hasn't, like, for how great and how funny she is, she has not gotten what I think she deserves. She currently does a live stream with her husband that was based off, well, the podcast still continues, but they used to do a live in-person show for a thing called couples therapy, which was like storytelling with like different types of couples, whether they're friends or significant others or whatever. And they would start the show themselves and just them working out their own shit. Her and Andy Beckerman, so great, so funny. So yeah, Naomi, Christina, Hannah. Oh God, do you remember the other two?
Goes by one name.
Oh, Z-Way. Yeah, Z-Way for short. Yeah, for Z-Way.
You know, it's great. What I love is that you've named all women, which is so great to hear for comedy because such a struggle for such a long time of the equality for women in this male-dominated industry.
And I wasn't even trying for that. That's the thing. I wasn't even. That's just. I watch a lot of comedy, and I'm sure that I have my own biases. I would hope that I am aware of them, but I very much just try to enjoy comedy as purely as I can.
Two shout outs in that category of people along those lines that you're talking about. One, when I saw Rachel Machuzack, when first started getting up at mics in LA, and I was like, she's going to be great.
Oh, yeah. And Rachel Mack had one of the best sets on Lights Out with David Spade. It was great.
Yeah, that was great.
It was really, really great.
The sets weren't great. Sher's was great.
Yeah.
And Allie Mack, I thought, really her own nicely.
Yeah, Allie, I feel like a lot of the comedy powers that be have been searching for that millennial. And I feel like Allie is that millennial. There are so many millennials that are not millennial in the, I think, sort of marketing sense of what a millennial is. And then there are some that posture too much and it's like kind of annoying. But Allie, I think, is like truly that and embodies it and is very funny about it. It's funny that like they both used to go by their like Allie Makovsky goes by Allie Mack, and same with Rachel. She goes by Rachel Mack now.
It's funny that I didn't put that together as I was saying it. But
this is why I get paid the tiny bucks, man.